Trinity Metro is Tarrant County's provider of public transportation service. We offer bus and rail services. You may know TEXRail, Trinity Railway Express, Zip Zone, Fort Worth Bike Share. Those are all programs of Trinity Metro. Trinity Railway Express has been around for about 25 years, and that service is between downtown Dallas and downtown Fort Worth.
We are now aboard the Trinity Railway Express, or affectionately known by its riders as TRE. And what makes TRE unique is that it is a double-decker train. That means you can be riding upstairs during your journey, as we are now, or you have the option to sit downstairs. Another aspect that makes TRE unique is that it was the first commuter rail service offered in the DFW area, starting service in 1996 on a 10-mile line, and then in 2001, it expanded all the way to Fort Worth.
Welcome to the Trinity Railway Express Equipment Maintenance Facility. Today we have the 131 in the shop for inspection. Engineer Stinson's going to show you around, show you how it works.
Hi, my name's David Stinson. I work for the TRE. I'm a locomotive engineer, been 24 years now. We're standing in the cab of a F40 locomotive. It has 3,000 horsepower. It has one engine and two generators. One operates the cars with the doors and lights, and the other one operates the locomotive. Let me show you how this thing operates. This is the throttle. Come out to notch 1. You have to slowly come out to throttle it. It operates to 79 miles an hour. This is a reverser. And the reverser has to be in forward to operate, to go forward, and idles in neutral. Next, we're going to show you how to apply the brakes. This is the automatic brake valve. Your first reduction is a minimum reduction. It takes a lot to slow one down. Going 79, it takes a mile to stop it. The thing I love about my job more than anything is just operating the train. It gives me pride every day just to be able to do that. And passing it down to my son. He's been here for 15 years.
TEXRail is our newest addition to Trinity Metro. It's a state-of-the-art rail line that operates between downtown Fort Worth and DFW Airport Terminal B. Once you're on board, you'll find all the amenities, including charging outlets for your mobile devices, lots of group seating if you're traveling in groups. It's a quick ride, and we hope people will come out and try it.
On TEXRail, we operate with the Stadler Flirt Diesel Multiple Unit, or DMU. And that's different from your traditional locomotive setups on most commuter rails, which operate in a push-pull method with the locomotive on one end and a cab car on the other. So if you're going one direction, the locomotive's pulling the train. If you're going another, it's pushing the train. Here on TEXRail with the Flirts, we are a bi-directional diesel multiple unit. We have operating cabs on each end. Our engine compartment's in the middle. We have two 500 horsepower engines that generate power and push them out to our traction motors on each end of the train, and that's what propels the train either way.
My name is Chris Keys. I'm a transportation supervisor as well as an engineer here for TEXRail. We are at the Mahaffey Maintenance Facility. This is our TEXRail shop where all of our trains come in for inspections. This set behind me is a Stadler Flirt train. This is one of the most high-tech trains out on the market today. This train is actually in for an annual inspection, but we're going to go take a look behind the curtain and see how this thing works. All right, so here we are behind the scenes in the Stadler DMU cab. This cab is a lot different than most traditional locomotives in the fact that our engineers sit in the middle of the train, the cab here, instead of on the right-hand side as a traditional locomotive would be. So because of the fact that we sit in the middle and we have all these screens in front of us, we call this the cockpit. These trains are super high tech. Everything that we have on these trains are controlled by a computer, and there's access through computer screens. This screen here is our main screen for all our functions of the mechanical portions of the train. Your motors, starting, stopping, different motors. These motors are different than a traditional locomotive, being that most locomotives have the motor in the cab that the locomotive engineer is riding on. Ours, however, are in the middle of these trains. So they're remote from us, so that's how you access all your computer information on what the status of your motors on your train are. Some other functions, air compressors are all controlled in here. We can turn different air compressors on. Air compressors are what controls the air for our stopping of these trains. HVAC control. We actually have the ability to turn the air up and down. Passengers are hot or cold, we can adjust it accordingly with our AC control here that controls the climate on the train. Next here we have, this is the stop and start of a train. We have 3 different controllers here. This is called our reverser. Your reverser is actually what selects the direction of travel of the Stadler train. If you push the reverser in forward, it would move in forward once you apply throttle. You pull it back this way, this actually puts it into the reverse position, and so when you apply throttle, it would move backwards. This is what we call our master controller. This is your gas pedal and brake pedal in one. You move the master controller forward, it provides propulsion. You pull it back towards the engineer, and it actually provides braking for the set. And a neat feature that we have that a lot of trains don't have, we have a cruise control. This selector right here will actually allow us to increase or decrease the selected speed by 5-mile-an-hour increments. And once you select it and you have the master controller in forward, it will actually hold that speed for you. It'll apply the brakes and or throttle as needed without the engineer having to control it. This screen right here, it shows the braking percentage, battery percentage, how much force is being used during braking, and or how much energy is being produced for throttle. Your speedometer here, this is actually when you move this selector, you can see these increments going up by 5. That's how you actually know what speed you're going to select your cruise control for. This screen here is our PTC screen. That stands for Positive Train Control. PTC is a overlay of your territory of the railroad that you're running on. It constantly gets feedback from satellites on train positioning, any incoming signals that you have coming up, any crossings that you may have. All that is continuously updated in this, and the purpose behind it is to prevent a train accident or incident. If you have a crossing, it shows up on the screen. If you don't comply and slow down and do what's required, it'll actually stop the train before you go into a crossing, and or the stop signal, anything like that. It knows what signals are coming up, and so it's able to stop the train if the engineer's not responding accordingly to prevent head-on collision with another train. Our next set of screens here is our camera system. So most conventional locomotives may have 1 or 2 cameras. They may have a cab camera, they may have a camera out the front. Our trains here have 25 cameras on board. They not only monitor exterior but also interior of our passenger compartments. If we have a passenger who's having an emergency and they hit a call button, this camera system will actually pull up to the nearest camera for that call button and start recording at a higher frame rate. Not only can we see what's going on inside the cab or the passenger compartment, but we can also have communication with that passenger using the intercom system here. You've got a fire button here. This fire button, we have different systems that are monitored for fire and smoke, bathrooms, engine compartments. If this goes off and lights up, then what will happen is we'll actually get a notification on that screen that we have a fire on board. We know exactly where it's at. One of the safety features of the fire system on this train is that when the fire system is actually triggered, it will shut down the HVAC system in order to prevent smoke and or flames getting spread through the ventilation system on board the set. I've been railroad now for 23 years. Growing up, every kid that I knew had a train set. And so from an early age, it was something that I always thought that I enjoyed doing. And so now I'm just a big kid with a big train set.
Hi, I'm Sarah Rogers. I'm a conductor here on the TEXRail train, and I have been with the company for 6 months. As a conductor here on TEXRail, I get to walk through the train and check passengers' tickets. I also get to communicate with the engineer of what signals are coming up, if there's any speed restrictions, and most importantly, I get to help take care of the passengers and get them to their final destination. Being a conductor is the first step in order to promote to be an engineer. I am excited and wanting to move up to that next step. In order to qualify to be an engineer, you have to be a conductor for 18 months. After that, you're able to start your training and you have a test that you have to pass, and you take that step of being an engineer. My favorite part of working on a train is actually getting to see the little kids. I have had 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds that get on this train and they are just so excited because they're having this train ride. I had one little boy, he goes, "Hey, Miss Conductor, can you stay back here? I have some questions for you." And it was just the most adorable thing, and I think that getting children interested in this industry is also very great for us and great for them to have fun and learn and just to have a train ride.